Hi there y'all, I'm Tom, and this is Empty Pantry Entrees, a place where you can learn all the skills you need to throw together some delicious recipes out of whatever odds and ends you have in your pantry. Today, we're going to be making shakshuka, mainly because I have a whole lot of pita bread left over from last week's cheesy gordita crunch video. But regardless of what you serve this over, whether it's rice or naan, this is an amazing dish for any time of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Essentially, we're going to be making a spiced tomato sauce to use as a braising liquid for our eggs, to which we're going to crack in and poach to runny perfection. And if that doesn't sound great, I don't know what does. This shakshuka recipe is incredibly quick, easy, and is a perfect addition to any home cook's arsenal of weeknight recipes. The way that I see it, everybody should learn how to make a good shakshuka. But enough talking. I think it's about time for us to get to this.
Dropping on in here with the start of today's recipe, slice up a green pepper, making sure to avoid the seeds as much as possible. They can be a bit bitter and we don't want that messing with our sauce. Drop that into the trash where it belongs and slice and dice the pepper before placing into a prep cup. The next thing you want to do is to try to catch a medium yellow onion. This one's defective. There's a good one. You'll take your onion, chop across from root to pole, and then peel back the skin. There honestly isn't some secret way of chopping onions that will lead to a better dish in the end. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is how finely you dice. You can do that just about any way that makes sense to you, so long as your fingers are kept out of the way. Dice your onion finely and drop into a prep cup. Following that, we'll place a sauté pan onto the stove and set to a medium-high heat, making sure that you have a lid that fits your pan. Anyways, after that, you're going to hit the pan with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, then once everything is nice and toasty, pour in your chopped onions. Give that a good mixing around to coat all of your onions with the olive oil, then pour in the diced green peppers. I'm also adding in about a half of a diced jalapeno that I had left over from another recipe. That's completely optional, but it does help the spice a bit. The nice part about having everything prepped is that you never have to leave the hot pan unattended. Chances of burning are much lower this way. Next up is a sprinkling of salt and pepper, which if you want, you can measure. But for this recipe, I'm running with real rough approximations. For style points, continue to toss your veggies with a flick of the wrist, and completely ignore the wooden spoon you had set out for that exact purpose. Yikes. Next in the seasoning blend is 1 teaspoon of cumin, maybe half a teaspoon of coriander, and then 1 teaspoon of paprika, followed by mixing together with your spoon like a grown-up. No need to be a show-off this time with the tossing. And then optionally, you can add in 1 teaspoon of garam masala, something I typically like to use in my curry recipes. However, I think it'll pair really nicely with the cumin and the coriander. Mix in, then reach for a can opener to open a can of crushed tomatoes. Ideally, you'd use San Marzano tomatoes, but my store was out of stock, so we're going with red gold. Pour that on in, drop the heat to a medium, and then continuously stir as the tomatoes come up to temperature. Once softly bubbling, sprinkle in 1 to 2 teaspoons of garlic powder to ward off any vampires, and then about 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes for extra spicy. If you can't tell, spice is a key player in a lot of my dishes. Feel free to leave it out if it's not your thing. And finally, we're gonna cheat to bump up the umami of this dish by adding in MSG. About a half a teaspoon or so, or more if you're like Uncle Roger and can't get enough. Let that tomato mixture softly bubble for about 5 to 10 minutes and drive off excess moisture. A good indicator that you've simmered enough is when you're able to drag the spoon across the pan and leave a dividing line in the sauce. If you've passed the spoon test, then you can begin to crack your eggs in. For a pan this big, I'm going with 6 eggs. Simply pull the sauce to the side to create a divot for the egg, then drop in the egg before the sauce floods in. Doing this one-handed is a big flex on your egg cracking skills, but it's a lot easier if you have 2 people in this stage. 1 for divot making, 1 for egg cracking. I like my eggs particularly runny, so I'm going to drop the temperature even more to a medium-low, cover with a lid, and now let the steam do its work until the whites of the eggs have set. Depending on where the eggs are located, some will turn out a bit harder than others, so keep that in mind when serving to guests. Everybody has their own preference. For plating, you'll serve this over rice or naan. Check out last week's video for a great naan recipe if you'd like. And now for the part where we make it look pretty. You'll garnish with a pinch of sliced green onions, fresh cilantro, and a few slices of avocado to add in a bit of healthy fats. And now yes, the garnish does work to make this look like a picture-perfect breakfast, but it also isn't just for looks. The garnish mainly is there to cut through a lot of the richness and heaviness of the tomato sauce. The two complement each other and make the dish more balanced and diverse in flavor. And now, I cannot stress enough how easy of a dish this is to make, while also being one that you can use to show off to your friends. If you're going to go that route, I recommend picking up some naan at your local grocery store and giving this one a try. Just make sure to send me a picture showing how it turned out in the end. Beyond that, if you like this content and want to support me, consider liking, subscribing on YouTube, and sharing this on Facebook, Twitter, or Reddit. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them below in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.